Alright guys, it is Kieran from Red Devil Weekly. United have secured what could be a massive 3 points in the context of the top 4 race. In fact, I know it's a massive 3 points. It puts us 9 points clear inside the top 4 ahead of West Ham, who also have a game in hand. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we've secured the 3 points. It wasn't vintage. It certainly wasn't vintage, but we got over the line in the end. And as I've always said, I've been consistent about this. It doesn't matter how you get the points. It matters in what points you get. It matters that you do actually get over the line and get the 3 points. And we did it. And even though it came from an own goal, as I said, it wasn't vintage. A Craig Dawson own goal has given us the 3 points. Although I did see the goal was awarded to Scott McTominay. I think Fantasy Premier League awarded the goal to Scott McTominay. So that is obviously great for us to see a United player getting on the score sheet. And I'm taking that all day long as someone who actually rates McTominay a little bit. But I want to say as well, thanks for watching Harry the Hoover and Adam. I do apologise. I was on a bit later than I said I was. I said I was going to go live at 10. So thank you very much for being patient and sticking with me. Do appreciate it. And thanks, Dazza, as well, for joining. Really do appreciate it. As we go through, please do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. Trying to get up to 870 subscribers. So anything you guys can do to help us out with that would be absolutely magnificent. But let's get straight into it, shall we? Let's get straight into the game. Adam said, I thought we played well and we created chances. I think... I'm not 100% sure you can say we played well throughout, but I think there are spells of play where we played well. I think you have to say we were the dominant force in the game. I think really West Ham didn't show up today. I think most West Ham fans, I wouldn't be surprised if they're annoyed about the performance they put in today, because in that first half, they were non-existent. I mean, I don't say that teams come into game and look like they don't want to win, or they have no business winning, but West Ham in that first half looked like they didn't even want to win the game. They just didn't look like they were asked about winning. They just sat back, 0 shots on target in the first half, 0 shots in total in the first half, and actually throughout the whole game, I don't think Dean Henderson had to make a single save. I can't remember a single save Dean Henderson really had to make from a West Ham attack. So, in some ways, you can argue that's credit to our defending, because there was quite a few deliveries into the box that had to be defended. But at the same time, you have to say that we actually did play well in terms of making sure West Ham didn't have as many chances as they did. But also, the tactics from Moyes were so negative. They were just, I couldn't understand it, especially with the form that West Ham came into the game with and the form that we were coming into the game with. Yes, we'd just come off the back of a very impressive 2-0 win at the Etihad, but realistically, if you looked at our performances and our results before that, I think we were a team that could have been got out, especially at home. If I'm an opposition manager or an opposition player looking at Manchester United's home form, I'm thinking we've got a chance of getting at these. And West Ham showed no intent whatsoever, I think. And, I mean, I'm not complaining. Listen, I'm not complaining. I'm happy that they didn't really show up. But I was so surprised that they didn't really seem to give it a go. They didn't really seem to want to win. Antonio was the only one that was causing any sort of threat. And I thought he did all right, but he didn't really get any sort of service. Apart from that, they just didn't look good going forward whatsoever. They wasted quite a few opportunities. In terms of their quality on the ball, they lost the ball quite a few times and never really had that final ball. So they didn't really trouble us. They didn't really trouble us, if we're honest with ourselves. And I really thought it was going to be a much more difficult game. Yes, we only edged it out 1-0, but realistically, if we'd taken a few more of those chances, we could have ran away with that game 2-3, 4-0. So I'm happy with the overall game. I think the fact we got the 3 points is the main thing. But I think one of the main things to take out of that game is that we've kept a clean sheet at home. And I see a few of you guys in the chat asking whether top 4 secure. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, with 9 games to go, you'd have to say that we're definitely favourites. And realistically, if we bottle it from here, then we don't deserve top 4 anyway. We don't deserve to be in the Champions League. So I think we're pretty well nailed on for top 4. But in this league, I'll never say never. I'll never say never, especially what we've seen happen this season. But yeah, Del Studio, thanks for joining, G. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out his Max reaction he put up on his channel. Great stuff over there. So make sure you do check out Red Devil Studio. He's thinking top 4 is secure. And to be honest with you, I think it's hard to disagree. I can't agree. The only thing I would say, as I said before, is that this league has been a bit inconsistent. We have seen teams fall out of places in the league which we never really thought we'd see. For example, we've seen Liverpool's demise, we've seen Tottenham's demise. we could potentially go through a period of games where we have a bad run of form as well. It's not out of the ordinary to happen this season. So that's one thing I'm definitely kind of keeping one eye on, is a bit to collapse, especially if we keep getting these injuries. But right now, I'm just going to think positively. We've got over the line, big 3 points, and we're very, very close, I think, to securing that top 4 spot. RJ's joining us. RJ, great to see you, mate. Great to see you. Thanks for joining. He's obviously pumped after a massive 3 points for Manchester United. Harry the Hoover says we played. He believes we played well, and I think in patches we played well. And I'm going to say this. I don't think it was the most vintage Man United performance you'll ever see, and I think most United fans would probably agree with me on that one. In terms of the way we played defensively, I thought we were rock solid defensively. I thought actually Harry Maguire had a decent game, and I know some of you guys in the chat won't be too happy that I've said that, but listen, Harry Maguire, you've got to give him credit where credit's due. He had a brilliant game today. I thought defensively everyone had a great game. Luke Shaw obviously got the man of the match from the Sky Sports pundits, but I thought he was absolutely outstanding. Going forward, we did miss a few opportunities, but Greenwood, even though he did miss or had 2 of his opportunities saved by Fabinaski, 1 came off the post. He was brilliant today, I thought, Greenwood. I thought he had one of his best games I've seen in recent times. And, he's a sort of player that if we can keep him fit, if he can keep showing that sort of promise on the pitch, he will get goals. The floodgates will open for Greenwood. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion. Daz has joined us as well. Thanks for joining, Daz. Appreciate it. He says, wouldn't be too sure yet. We're favourites, but we could easily bottle it. Yeah, as I said, I don't want to think too negatively, but I'd have to, kind of side with Daz a little bit on that one. Is the league is a little bit up and down this season. It's one of those ones where I'd love to say that top 4 is completely done and dusted, and really any other season I would probably go with that. 9 games to go. We've only got really a few more difficult games left. But this season is so hard to predict. It is so hard to predict how this is going to go. So, we've got to just concentrate on ourselves. And I think if we're still in this position with maybe 4 games to go, I think then we can absolutely say it's done. But until then, I'm not gonna say anything out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put my neck on the line. And yes, you can call me a coward. Call me a coward if you want, but I'm not gonna jinx it. Aaron Richards, thanks for joining. Aaron, appreciate it. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. And Sickball has joined us. Thanks for joining, Sickball. Appreciate it. Our resident Juventus fan. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo scoring a hat trick as well. Must have been absolutely pumped with that. The GOAT scoring a hat-trick. Brennan says, I see Kieran went back to the scene of the crime. Yeah, as you can see, I have gone back to the world-famous scene, obviously in the camera angle. I've kind of made it a bit cleaner, if you know what I mean. You can't see the monstrosity that is going on in behind me over there, but we're going to keep it like that. We're going to keep it like that. You don't need to see it, trust me. Dazza says, Tottenham lost the banter team. What about that Rabona, though? I don't want to give any credit to Lamela. Lamela is an absolute waster, an absolute twat. I'm not going to say anything positive. The one thing I'll say is that it was a good goal, but that's it. He doesn't deserve our time. As Man United fans, it was karma. We got the karma of seeing him go off. Second yellow card, thank you very much. It came about 22 games too late for us, to be honest. We could have done with him being sent off in that Spurs game, but it was beautiful karma. Poetic justice to see him go off today. I'm not a fan of Arsenal, obviously, and so in North London derbies, usually I'm rooting for Spurs because Arsenal, you love to see that AFTV, but realistically tonight, I just watching it as a neutral. I was just watching it as a neutral, and it was just beautiful to see Lamela get sent off. It really was. Sickball says, yeah, I'm pumped with it. Hopefully Ronaldo stays at Juve. He's the only one keeping the team alive. Well, a lot of people were, commenting on his overall performance and saying that he was, past it, saying all this stuff about him after you guys obviously went out of the Champions League. But you've got to say he is a massive part of your team. He's a massive part of your team. And, it'd be big if he stays. It really would be big. Who knows whether there's going to be one last dance at Old Trafford. I've seen a lot of people talking about that on social media. I think that boat sailed, but you never know. This football is crazy in the 21st century. It's crazy right now. So I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, nothing surprised me anymore. Oh yeah, I will put the link in the live chat, Adam. Don't worry, I will put the link in the live chat in a bit because I do want to get you guys on. Aaron says, I'm Kieran, and just to let you know, on your Cambridge United, your team are still bottom of my Premier League. but the board still thinks you're the person to turn Kieran's season around. That's not what I wanted to hear, Adam. That's not, Aaron. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to hear. Yeah, listen, I'm happy I've got the board's backing on that one, but at the end of the day, you know, my team have let me down. My team are letting me down. That's all I'm going to say. My team are letting me down. Yeah, Daz has pointed out for you, sick ball. Just put another nail in your coffin there, sick ball. But yeah, I want to ask you guys really, who was your man of the match? I think Luke Shaw was a great candidate. Got our player of the month of February and seems to have continued his great form. I think, February, he was fantastic today. Once again, he was brilliant. I thought Maguire was great, and I thought Greenwood as well. I thought Greenwood had a great game. So it'd be out of those three. I think it'd be out of Maguire, Greenwood, and Luke Shaw for me. You guys let me know in the live chat and also in the comment section down below as well. If you're watching as a video, please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I always really do enjoy reading your comments, so please do get them in, and we will have a look at them and see what you guys are saying. Oh, of course, happy Mother's Day. It was a great Mother's Day treat, unless your mum's a West Ham fan, in which case today didn't go down well. But if your mum's a United fan, it's a great day. It finished off a fantastic day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. A few shouts for man of the match. Adam goes Harry Maguire. Dazza says Shaw was his man of the match. So we've got a few different shouts there. I think, again, they're all fair shouts. They're all fair shouts for man of the match. I thought Bruno Fernandes had a decent game today. I thought Bruno Fernandes actually had a fairly decent game today. We have been saying that recently he hasn't really been on that great form, but I thought he had a pretty decent game. Got the assist, from the corner. That obviously Craig Dawson helped him out with, but got the assist for that one. And actually, I thought he created quite a few opportunities today. His final ball, in some cases, wasn't there, and maybe he could have taken a few more shots than he did. But I actually think that Fernandes had a good game, so credit where credit's due. I think he's got to be up there for me as well. Henderson didn't really have to do much all game. I can't really give it to him, even though he didn't put a foot wrong. You can't really give it to someone who didn't really have much of a test in the game. Wan-Bissaka I thought was alright. I thought he wasn't really tested too much. McTominay I thought didn't have a great game, and usually I'm someone who does like to bang the drum for McTominay, but I thought he didn't have a brilliant game today. Fred as well, I didn't think he had the best of games. Rashford, to be honest, with the selection of Rashford, I'm not sure if you guys would agree, but I was thinking that Rashford was... it was a risk. It was a big risk playing Rashford. And one thing I was worried about was him getting an injury. And when he was holding his foot, I tell you, I was worried. I was worried when I saw him holding his foot. But hopefully he's all right. Obviously, we'll see what Solskjaer has to say, whether he's got any confirmed injuries. I hope he isn't injured because, I was fearing the worst. I was thinking he's rushed Rashford back here and... it's going to be the same old story. He's rushed him back. He's going to get an injury. He's going to come off, and he's going to be out for another 4 or 5 weeks. I could see that happening, but luckily it didn't, and hopefully we can keep him fit. We need to keep him fit for the rest of the season because he will be a very, very big asset to us. Adam says, are rival fans or Bruno... Oh, no, Royal fans. Oh, Bruno is bad. He didn't get a goal and assist. He's just a pen merchant. He even got an assist today, though. That's the thing. He got an assist. So, to be fair to Fernandes, I thought by his standards, he had a fairly decent game today. And if you look at his past few games, I don't think he's been that great. But I actually thought today Fernandes was decent. So, yeah, I think he's definitely got to be a candidate. I wouldn't make him man of the match, but I think he's definitely got to be a candidate. But a great 3 points, a big 3 points in the context of the top four. You have to say, the fact that we're now 9 points inside the top four. I see a few people were saying that, top four is secure. I'm not too sure. I think there's still a fair way to go in the league. 9 games, still, 27 points up for grabs potentially. Did some quick maths in my head there. 27 points up for grabs. So, a lot can happen. A lot can happen in the space of 9 games. We just have to, concentrate on ourselves and win our own individual battles. And if we defend like we did today, we should be enough. We should do enough. And obviously, I saw a stat actually, which is that we'd won 23 games we've only lost one of our last 23 Premier League games this season, and that was after losing 2 out of our first 3. So, that just shows how much of an improvement we've made after that defeat to Spurs. And, it begs the question, if we'd actually had a proper pre-season, where would we be in the table right now? Probably still second. But we'd be closer to Man City, that's for sure. We'd definitely be closer to Man City. So, you know, it's just one of those things, really, that actually, if you look at the results and the stats this season, this has actually been one of our best seasons since Sir Alex Ferguson has left. And by the way some people are talking, it's been one of our worst, which I don't understand, to be honest with you. But, you know, people are going to have their say. I think there's some people who have already made their minds up on Solskjaer and don't really want to change their minds, even if evidence presented in front of their eyes would suggest that maybe they should. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion, I have to say that. You know, I'm going to put a link in the live chat. We'll get a few of you guys in for a bit and see what you guys are saying. And yeah, if you're watching, please do hit that like button if you aren't already. It really does help out the channel. So yeah, if you guys want to hop in, please do feel free to do so if you want to hop in for a bit and give your opinions. But a big 3 points, that's all I can really say. I've given my views. I want to hear you guys. If you want to get involved, the link is in the live chat right now. So if you want to get involved, hit that link and we'll have you on the live stream. Dazza says, De Gea, Van der Beek, Cavani, Pogba and Tony expected to be back this week, all being well. I hope so. I hope so, because after a win like that, to get those players back would be a massive boost. You know, it's bad enough to be losing games and have players injured, but the fact we've just won back-to-back Premier League games, to get those guys back would be a huge boost. So hopefully, that is right, and we do get those guys back. I think especially with Pogba and Cavani as well. I think without both Pogba and Cavani, we have been struggling a little bit to create. So hopefully those guys can come back as soon as possible, and we'll be in a good position. But we'll add Adam into the call. Adam, thank you very much for coming on as usual, mate. Really do appreciate it. I'm looking forward to hear what you have to say. Oh, by the way, Dazza, don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Hopefully you get better. Obviously, the vaccine. I've heard a lot of stories that it does have some side effects. So hopefully you do, feel better, and hopefully it doesn't affect you too badly. But Adam, thanks for coming on. As I said, really do appreciate it. In terms of the game overall, not vintage, but a big 3 points for Manchester United. Adam, can you hear me? Oh, okay. I'm not sure if Adam can hear me. Box, well, before then, Box says, thanks for joining, Box. Really appreciate it. Good to have you on the channel. What were your thoughts, Adam? Box, what were your thoughts on the game overall? We're just having a few technical difficulties getting through to Adam, so we'll try and see if this one works.
I'm back.
Right, okay. Right, no worries. Adam, right, we'll take two. Adam, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. I was just saying that, from my point of view, it wasn't a vintage Man United performance by any means, but a massive 3 points. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, considering Leicester got the 3 points, we needed to win. There's an echo, isn't there?
Oh, it's a little bit of an echo, yeah.
Our voices sound like robots.
I don't know why the echo is happening, but
anyway,
I can definitely hear a little bit, but no worries.
But yeah, it's a big result. Maguire, man of the match. I mean, the amount of hate that guy gets, it was a good performance from him. That block at the end. Hello?
Hello? Yep, still with you.
That block at the end was very good. Anyway, how's Owen celebrating after seeing another Henderson clean sheet?
Oh yeah, he was loving it. He was loving it. Trust me, absolutely loving it. More Henderson propaganda, but to be fair to Henderson,
one thing I was a bit like, oh, no substitutions. That's one thing that worried me a bit. I feel like we should have at least brought someone on. I was worried with Marcus Rashford. To be fair, I have a feeling about the Europa League. Now, it's going to be very unpopular. I don't really care about the Europa League. I think Europe was done with me after we got knocked out of Champions League. Because I don't know. And one thing, people are going to say, but we should go for a trophy. I know. But the thing is, I'd rather win the FA Cup. Because with the Europa League, we're going to be playing every week. Players like Bruno and Wan-Bissaka. they're not going to get rest. And with Leicester, because they're knocked out of the Europa League, they have extra rest, which is going to be beneficial for them. So I honestly think I'm not too bothered if we get knocked out of the Europa League, because I feel like...
So do you still think? Do you think that we could still potentially fall out of the top four? I've seen a few people in the live chat saying that top four secured. So are you one of those people that still thinks that we could still fall out of the top four?
What I see is we have Tottenham and Liverpool. Like we still have them and Leicester to play. So seeing those, if we lose 3 of them, you never know, because this season's been so hard to predict. Like Southampton, who were once top of the league, now they're like falling down the table.
That's true.
But yeah, good win today. I was a bit shocked the way West Ham played, because I thought they were going to try and attack us, considering how weak our defence is. I mean, it was good today. Is Owen
100%.
Is Owen still doing an assignment?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's working away. I think you probably hear the keyboard, but yeah.
But I feel like they really missed Jesse Lingard, which was good for us, because the form Lingard's been on, it would have been very it wouldn't have been good if he scored.
No, exactly, yeah. But he probably would if he was allowed to play. I reckon he probably would.
There was this meme that Lingard when West Ham scored, but then he realises he's a United fan's last play, so he's like, well, this is awkward.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. But I'm happy that he wasn't able to play against us, because, to be fair to him, he's been playing absolutely fantastic right now. Box says a good win. Once again, we failed to kill off the game. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. I was just sat there like I normally do, watching every United game on the sofa, being like, just get it away, just take it to the corner, please. I don't want it. Because I thought we were going to have another, Aston Villa moment where we say take it to the game. West Ham get the ball, they start running, and they almost score. But, yeah, so it's a good win, and hopefully... I'll be honest, man. Do you really care about the Europa League?
Well, I think I am in the camp, as you talked about the one about you saying I know people are going to say we should go for a trophy. I actually think a trophy for Solskjaer would be big for him. If you think about all the criticism he gets, the fact he hasn't got a trophy, a lot of people are saying that. That's obviously a big thing, but that's why I think we should still look at the Europa League. But I think if it does start hampering our league form, then yeah, we should probably kill it off. But yeah, go on.
I'm sad that Leicester won, but I captained Iheanacho in my FBL, so
Hey, not bad. Swings and roundabouts, mate.
Yeah, Greenwood hit post twice. Rashford ran into it. Honestly, I don't know. I like Dan James. I feel like Aston Villa, you mean AC Milan? No, the Villa. I'll explain later, but James, I like him, but I feel like I just don't think if we actually want to win the title, I don't think he can be our winger. And I'm going to say another unpopular opinion. And I think this one will be more popular. We need a CDM more than we need a centre-back.
To be fair, I think a lot of people would probably say that. I think there'll be at least some people that agree with you, because I think if you look at our midfield today, I thought McTominay wasn't brilliant, and I thought Fred wasn't great. So I think yeah, go on.
But why do all our players go back, sit back, and is it because they know McTominay and Fred can't pass forward, so they just try and get the ball and try and create something out of nothing?
I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I think the fact that I just think there's a lack of creativity in the midfield of McTominay and Fred. I think that's one of the main things.
Does anyone else feel so bad for Alex Telles? He comes thinking he's going to be the starting left back, and then Luke Shaw suddenly turns into prime Roberto Carlos. But I'm not complaining.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that, actually, because Box here says Ollie should trust Williams, Tuanzebe, buy Telles, Matic and Diallo, give them minutes, rotate, and allow the starters to rest. So, would you agree with that? Do you think Ollie should trust his depth a lot more?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do have depth, but it's just really we don't use it. Now,
Hmm.
one thing I don't get Liverpool fans who are like, oh, have really tampered us this season. We're in a worse injury crisis than them right now because that one thing I'm really worried about when Rashford plays is his injury going to get worse? Because
Hmm.
I mean, to be fair, for the Euros, I don't care. Go Portugal. But for United, I want him to stay fit because even though he is a bit wasteful, you have to. Outside of Bruno and Rashford, if them two were injured, would you be confident in games against like Liverpool and City? You wouldn't you?
It's a fair point. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Listen, Bruno, what we should do whenever the summer starts, take him to a room, lock him in it, and just wait till the summer window ends.
I tell you what, they better be thinking of some sort of plan like that. In all seriousness, because
But
if we let go of Fernandes, our team is looking pretty bad. Just want to say on the point you made about Europa League, saying that actually you think we should not focus on the Europa League and focus on the league. Dada says rather win that than the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. We get Champions League football by doing that, and we're in the European Championship. So we're in a European Championship. So no, we are European champs. Sorry, I read that completely wrong. So Daz are obviously making the point that actually, if we do win the Europa League, it would be better than winning the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup because we then do get Champions League
yeah.
football, and it's a European trophy rather than a domestic trophy. Would you kind of agree with that?
So, well, I get where people are coming from because we do want a bit of silverware. I don't know if you heard the rumours. Do you have an app called One Football?
I don't have it right now. If they
Uh,
want to sponsor me, that'd be fantastic, but I don't have it.
because I got a notification yesterday that was like Ollie signed a new deal, and I was like, wait, what? And it was from the Daily
Mm,
Mirror, so it's probably false or Daily Mail,
yeah.
whichever one it is. But I feel like it would be a bit of a mistake to give Ollie the contract. No offense to him because we have progressed under him, but I feel
Yeah.
like we need to wait till the end of the season to see if we should give him an extra contract because even though in the last decade we've not been the club that Man United's known for, the biggest club who always wins trophies, who always gets the best players, you know,
Mm.
managers would still love to come to Manchester United. I mean, it's just I don't think top four. Like, top six is definitely guaranteed. I can't see us slipping that far. But top four, you never know because Chelsea. I mean, they are lacking score goals, but hopefully United obviously get top four and get second because we need to close the gap to City and with Man
Mm.
City. I just hope that the director of football tries and gets in players that can help us move closer to City. Like, it's not going to be the big Hollywood players because we've tried that and we failed massively. How do I
Mm.
say it? Massively. Sanchez, Di
Yeah.
Maria. Uh, I was talking to my friend who's an Arsenal fan. Why do I have friends who support every club apart from United? Like, that's the one. And he said Arsenal are going to get top four. I think it's a bit over for Arsenal to get top four.
Yeah, I mean that is wishful thinking if ever I've heard it. By the way, Kobe, thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. He says Shawshank Redemption. Obviously Luke
Oh, that
Shaw.
was a class movie.
It was a class movie. Probably one of the best movies of all time. But also
I'm
a very
Morgan
good pun.
Freeman.
A very good pun.
Yeah,
Because
but
Luke Shaw is absolutely on fire right now. And also
do
just want to
you
mention
think
Mia's joined
that?
us. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate
Yeah,
it as well.
I don't get Arsenal fans who are saying, "Oh, Tierney's better than Shaw." There's no way Tierney is better than Shaw because
I mean, Tierney's pretty decent, to be fair. I'll give him that.
But he's not better. I don't think anyone's been better than Shaw. Daz is in the chat, so I'm a bit scared to say it. But Shaw, I think, has been better than Alphonso Davies this season.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I want to hear what Daz has to say about that. I want to hear what Daz has to say about that. You might have just.
But to be fair, he's a Man United and a Bayern fan, so he's probably thinking, no, he hasn't. But I'm also a United fan, so technically.
Talking about Luke Shaw, what do you think about this? Box says Shaw looks so confident now at the top of his game. He'd really benefit from a Cavani or Fernandes being in the box to finish off his crosses. What do you think? Do you think that Luke Shaw would get more assists if Cavani was up front rather than someone like Martial or Greenwood?
I actually think Greenwood, he just isn't in the box enough. Because, Greenwood, in my opinion, is a Haaland-type player, a finisher. And I'll be honest, he's not a one-season wonder like people are saying. He's 19 and look at what's happened to him with the England incident, with his friend obviously committing suicide. It's going to be hard on the lad, so I feel like you have to cut him some slack. I thought he was very good today, a big shout for man of the match. Very unlucky not to get a goal, and I feel like he'll just I swear, on Sundays my brain just goes.
Hey, listen, it's late on a Sunday evening. I mean, it is late. I mean, don't worry. It all happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Now this is going to cause up a huge stir. Do we still think that McTominay can, being a United team that wins the title, can he be a star, or do you think he has to be a bench player? Because I know you're a big McTominay fan.
Well, yeah, I've sung McTominay's praises recently,
fair,
and
I'm a fan of all United players. I was a fan of all United players apart from Fellaini.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, you're probably not alone on that one, to be fair. I think there were definitely a lot of United fans who didn't have Fellaini on top of their favourite players list. I can tell you that for certain. But it's a good question, and you guys in the live chat can get on that. Do you think that McTominay can start in a Manchester United title-winning midfield? Let us know. I think that potentially in the future, Scott McTominay could. There's no reason why, in the future, but we're talking like, 2 or 3 years down the line. I think that realistically, right now, I don't think he's good enough, but I think he's shown some flashes of potential, in my opinion.
He's progressing every year, in my opinion. Like, he's taking steps every year to improve his game. He's adding a lot more goals to his game now. He's sort of in the box, so, there's more chance of Cambridge. What is all this Cambridge United? To be fair, I would say there's more chance of Huddersfield getting promoted to the Pen, but Huddersfield is so bad.
You could put any League 1 or League 2 team in. You really could, and it makes sense. Dazza said he's actually agree with you that probably Luke Shaw is better than Alphonso Davies. So there you go. Dazza would probably agree.
I really need to turn my notifications off because they keep just. But okay. This is going to be there's this TikToker called Mr. Paddy Murphy, and he made he's a Liverpool fan from Ireland, and he made this thing where Man United treble winning team versus Liverpool's team last season when they won the league. He put Alisson over Schmeichel.
Yeah. On that note, we've got somebody else to add to the call, actually. Someone else has come in for a little bit. This is Charlie. He's got a Man City badge. But Charlie, we welcome all fans of all different clubs. As I said, it's getting late. If I'm slowing down a bit, it's because I'm getting late. But thanks for coming. Appreciate it. As a rival fan, what did you make of that Man United performance?
It was a boring match, I can tell you that. But United played professionally and got the 3 points, which is the main thing, really.
I can see you watch Red Manx TV.
Pardon?
I can see you watch Red Manx TV. He said they played professionally, but
No.
oh, well, this is awkward.
But no, I mean, no. All right, I'll get through a few comments here. I've seen a few people making some observations. In fact, I'll bring this one up. Mia says, I think Man United could have done a lot better today. And to be fair, I think that we could have probably won the game by more if Greenwood took a few more of his chances. But the fact we actually just got over the line is a big 3 points for us.
Fabinaski was good today.
Yeah, Fabinaski played well.
Like Fernandes' shot, I think Fabinaski did well in that position, but it's why do all keepers just decide to turn up against United? Like they could be making mistakes. When it comes to United, they turn into prime Lev Yashin.
I mean, it does seem to happen, especially at Old Trafford. It seems to always be that a goalkeeper comes in inspired form. But, I mean, I feel like it happens to most of the top 6 clubs as well. Like, if you look at Arsenal, probably even Man City, Chelsea, these guys, all the top 6 clubs, you always get the keepers from the lower clubs just starting to perform. Except obviously Burnley when they go to the Etihad, always seem to ship 5 goals. Yeah, but he's just terrible. Kobe says, nice to see you, Charlie, again. You got some fans in the chat there, Charlie. Nice to see. Box also says that McTominay can start in a title-winning team, but it is a squad game. How many people would say Cancelo, Zinchenko or Stones would be part of title-winning teams? I mean, it's a fair point. Obviously, as an individual, you could argue that McTominay is not really a starter for a title-winning team, but it is about the depth of squad. And I actually think that he could do a job. I mean, I want to ask you as a rival fan, Charlie, as someone who obviously doesn't have the same biases that we might have. What do you think of McTominay? What do you when you've watched McTominay play? Do you see a player that in the future could be a player potentially who is in a title-winning squad?
I actually think McTominay is a really good player.
Finally, a City fan who's not biased.
He's miles better than Fred, so if he was going to drop anyone in that midfield for Pogba, it should be Fred, in my opinion.
I mean, I think it's just good to hear what a kind of rival fan thinks, because I think in some ways rival fans give the most kind of honest opinion about your club, because obviously if I was going to make an opinion about Man United, it's going to be a little bit clouded, because obviously I have certain, I'm a fan of the club, so obviously it's going to have different kind of feel to it. But yeah, it's obviously good to hear a rival fan's opinion. Rich has joined as well. Thanks for joining, Rich. Make sure you do check out the match reaction he did on his channel to the game. Very good stuff over there. Make sure you do check it out. And also check out Daz's Football Stand as well. And Adam Talksport. Great stuff over there. Dazza also says, I'm going to say this just for the banter. Bruno is better than KDB.
I knew that was coming.
Yep. You're on a United channel. What else? What else was going to happen? But what do you make of... What do you make of Bruno Fernandes? Because I know, obviously, as a City fan, you're always going to kind of stick up for Kevin De Bruyne. And as United fans, you're always going to stick up for Bruno Fernandes. But as a City fan, what are your honest views on Bruno Fernandes?
He's a good player, but De Bruyne is miles better.
I wouldn't say miles better, because, alright, I'm just going to say this. Bruno came in... No, hold up. Bruno came into that United team, and he didn't have the best supporting cast around. Now, I'm not saying De Bruyne isn't important, because De Bruyne is obviously going to be important to City. But look at the cast he has around him, and even when De Bruyne is not there, City still have players like Ilkay Gundogan to rely on. Could De Bruyne have actually, changed United the way Bruno has? So I don't really think you can say De Bruyne's miles better, because in terms of, the way United has changed under Fernandes, and you can say all you want and say, oh, he only scores penalties, but
he does.
What? Oh, hell no! Now, what do you mean? So is that why he has the most open play goals of any other midfielder this season? I don't know. I'm just saying it's a bit weird.
They're two completely different types of players, though, I believe.
Yeah, to be fair, that is kind of true. And another question for Charlie. obviously because Cancelo's been good this season, but has Cancelo played left back? Because I'm sure he's been a left back.
He's played mostly right back this season.
Oh, well, that isn't. Because, yeah, Cancelo's been good this season, but, what was I going to say? I've forgotten now.
I'll read a few. If it comes back to you, I'll read a few comments. Kobe here says Manchester is red and always will be. Just gonna leave that there. But Rich says, but Bayern Munich are winning Europe. To be fair, I probably, you can't argue too much with that. Although if City keep playing the way they're playing, who knows? Also, I mean, Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool can have enough. They're going to run out of steam, I reckon. Especially without Van Dijk.
Liverpool fans saying that they're going to win they're talking about Nathaniel Phillips as his.
Oh, this Liverpool fan keeps tweeting Nat Beckenbauer. It really pisses me off.
Oh, is that Sonny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
God.
I'm going to be honest,
it's hilarious.
When it comes to with the Bruno De Bruyne debate, Man United fans are going to say Bruno, City fans are going to say De Bruyne.
Yeah.
It really depends on. For now, unfortunately, it pains me to say this, but I think actually no, I'm not going to say it. Forget that. Fernandes and De Bruyne, City have look at the midfielders City have because. When it comes, De Bruyne was missing. City don't really look like they look good with him, but when Gundogan, who's stepping up, shouldn't have got player of the month, but he's stepping up. You've got Bernardo Silva, who can easily drop into that midfielder role. You've got loads of options. You take Bruno out that squad, United panic because realistically, with Bruno,
we're terrible.
Bruno has, and we don't want to admit it, but Bruno has put that club on his back ever since he's arrived. He's literally made the mockery out of the term. You need time to adjust because he adjusted straight away. Now,
what? Sorry, I was just gonna say, what do you guys make of Daz's comment here? He says KDB is doing it with a good team, with a world-class manager who has a good style of play. Bruno is playing unbelievably well with a worse team and a manager who knows to play. Lol. My opinion. I mean, to be fair, if Pep Guardiola does, obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think in some ways a little bit harsh to say Solskjaer's got no style of play. I think personally, I've seen a lot of people say it, but I'd say it's a little bit harsh. But I do agree with what you're saying that Bruno's definitely carrying a much worse team.
Brendan, the thing is, De Bruyne is definitely amazing. There's no doubt about that. But look at the midfielder he had. Because when he first came, he had David Silva next to him. Now he has players like Gundogan and Foden, players who can help him, so not all the load's on him. Paul Pogba stepped up in recent months, but you never know with Paul Pogba. So a lot of the time, it's Bruno having to carry the load. Yeah, I agree. I just want to ask a question to Charlie.
Yeah, go on.
So, am I going to go back to the next week game, like the last week game? Because, of course, we're going to talk about that. What do you think went wrong for City against Man United? Because when I looked at that game, United were easy. I wasn't really scared of City, thinking, you know what, they had a few chances, but I feel like, United were comfortable throughout. So I just want to know, what do you think went wrong for City?
We were awful from start to finish. We were crap, honestly. It's one of the worst performances from City I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, being crap doesn't help, I guess. Won't help your cause.
Bruno with the CDM like Ndidi. You know what? That would be... But yeah, even though we're talking about Man U West Ham, let's just talk about, the things, because this game, it was a 1-0 win. We've talked a lot about it.
You're really rubbing it in, aren't you? I almost feel bad for Charlie. I almost feel bad for you. You're really rubbing
How
in
am I
that result
rubbing it
last
in?
week.
I can't really complain. We thought he played.
You know, we're United fans,
Yeah,
okay?
that's true.
We're always going to, try and banter the City fans.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
The ones that have been there before 2008. But anyway,
You just had to go there. You just had to go there. Go on.
You know, City never really bothered me, but Carlos Tevez made me hate them.
Oh, Carlos Tevez. Oh, absolute world class.
I think even City fans don't like him because with Roberto Mancini, they complained that because he wasn't, he was refusing to play because he wasn't picked v Bayern Munich. But where do you think United are going to finish, Charlie? And how long do you think it would take for United to catch up to Man City?
This season you'll finish second. I don't see anyone catching up to you. It could happen next season, maybe the season after. I think it could be on level terms. You just need the owners.
I feel like if we get a centre back like Koundé and a good CDM like Bissouma, it wouldn't be because realistically, when Ruben Diaz came to City, we didn't expect him to have the impact he's had with Man City. We just thought, they spent another load of money on a centre back. But Diaz, he's made John Stones better. And I feel like with Jules Koundé, you bring him in, he could make someone like Harry Maguire better. So then, because Harry Maguire and John Stones, you look at John Stones last season, they're in pretty similar circumstances. No one thinking that they're good enough for United, but it takes one player like Diaz and Stones completely changes. So you never know. And with United, I think another problem is we can't finish our chances. Like, we have so many chances, and with City, they have clinical forwards. I mean, Jesus, I don't really think he's City's future striker. I just feel like
it's awful. Jesus, it's awful.
And Aguero, I mean, the thing is with United, stop giving notifications to the iPhone. Anyway, I just feel, even Varane would be good, but players like Rashford. All right, I'm gonna actually ask Charlie a question because we know. Charlie, do you think Marcus Rashford will get into your starting 11?
At the moment, probably over Sterling.
I mean, I personally think he's better than Sterling, but.
I mean, Sterling to me seems like he's the kind of player, from an outside point of view, he's the kind of player that, when he's on fire, is scoring every game. He seems to be in amongst the goals, but he's kind of similar to Rashford in that when he's having a kind of bad period of form, he really doesn't add too much to your team. I'm not sure if you would agree with that.
Yeah.
Sterling can be world class, but it's very frustrating at the same time.
A lot of people were
very similar to Rashford.
A lot of people were putting Sterling last season when he was on form in the top 5 player list, and with Rashford, Rashford can be prime Ronaldo. He can be Ronaldo 1 minute and Emil Heskey the next minute. Because he just.
Hey, don't disrespect Heskey. He was a quality player in his day. Quality player.
Oh, Charlie, what do you think of your Scott Carson, the Man City legend?
Oh, best goalkeeper of all time, man.
Now with City, with captains,
I was just going to say, I just want to say thanks to Mr. Bojango for joining. He believes the current City team is overrated. Premier League is a mess this season, and teams turn up beaten. They will get found out in the Champions League. I mean, just wanted to leave that one in there.
No disrespect to Manchester City, but they always seem a way to beat themselves in the Champions League. Like, I have a feeling that they'll go. I don't think they'll win it. I think it's going to be Bayern again, just because of the quality Bayern have. One thing that I think both City and United can agree on, we're all loving Liverpool falling down the table.
Oh, who doesn't? I think everyone does, apart from Liverpool fans.
You're right there. You're absolutely right there.
you know, what players from United squad do you think would get into Manchester City's lineup, Charlie? Because the depth Man City have compared to us is insane.
I'd say Luke Shaw at the moment.
Of
Probably
course, the
Rashford.
best. Look, wait, so you're saying Bruno wouldn't get into the team?
No, because De Bruyne is better than him.
But all right, so
Yeah,
hold
that's probably it.
on. I'm just gonna look at City's midfield because I know they have good midfielders. You're not telling me Gundogan's better than Fernandes, are you?
Yeah. I'm joking.
I mean,
I'm joking.
no. One thing I would say is that Gundogan this season has been very good. He has been very. You can't say he hasn't. I'm going to say that.
I heard a City fan say Foden's better than Bruno, and then I'm like, come on now, you're taking the piss.
Actually, this is a good. I mean, it's one of the last questions I'm going to ask, and I'm going to wrap up very, very shortly. But obviously, there is this kind of debate that's been thrown up between Foden and Greenwood. Obviously, both of them have a bit of history together. Obviously, I don't want to. We'll just mention. I'll just say one word. I'll say.
We'll go.
Yeah, we'll just say Iceland, and we'll leave it there. But they both obviously there's a bit of a kind of. There's the media are hyping up this kind of not rivalry, but kind of a comparison between the two. Let's say. On your side of it, Charlie, I'll come to you first, and I'll come to you lastly, Adam, and what your thoughts on Greenwood are. But in terms of Foden versus Greenwood, obviously you're going to back Foden.
Come on,
but
it's not a question right now.
From what you've seen from Greenwood, how good do you think he can be?
He can be a brilliant player, but I think Foden's better at the moment.
You can't really compare Foden and Greenwood though. Like you're comparing Foden, Saka, and Greenwood. They're all different positions. Foden, Saka's England future left back. Foden's England's future midfielder. Greenwood, England's future forward. So I don't get the whole comparison. I mean, can we just enjoy having good English talent? Because a lot of the time, England get ridiculed for not having good talent. But now we actually have some good talent. I mean, when it comes I think Foden's going to be world class, and I feel like Manchester. I don't know if you lot play FIFA or you play career mode, but have you heard that option where it's block offers, where you can just block offers for any player? For Man City, I think it would be Foden that they'd block offers for, like the player they would, because he's going to be very good, and I think he's going to be up there with the Mbappe Haaland era, if I'm going to be honest, which pains me to say. And
he could be.
With Greenwood, I feel like he's just in a rough patch. If Greenwood actually, if Greenwood's comes back on form, then I feel like it's going to be good for us, obviously.
Yeah, I think so. I think if Greenwood can become the player that we saw even last season when he was really saving us in loads of games towards the last season.
Shopping in Iceland. Wait, does no one else shop in Iceland? Iceland is dead.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think, listen, speaking of Mother's Day, that's why all mums go to Iceland, trust me, they're 2 for 3 on chipolatas. But we'll leave it there.
Please sponsor us.
Well, I'll tell you what, if anyone sponsor us, really, I'll take anything. Nivea, man, anything, to us. Anything.
No, they're sponsored by Liverpool.
Don't give anything a shout out. Just make them pay you and then shout them out.
Exactly. Good thinking. But on that note, on that bombshell, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. I want to thank Adam and also Charlie for joining me on the stream.
Cheers,
make sure to check out. No worries. And cheers, Adam, as well. Thanks for coming on. And thanks for coming on, Charlie, as well. And make sure you do check out all the guys that I've mentioned. Daz's Football Stand, Rich Sports, and also Adam Talk Sport as well. Brilliant stuff.
So you remembered today.
So, listen, I'm sorry, Adam. I forgot last time. But listen, make sure you do check out Adam Talk Sport. But anyway, until then, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate everyone's support. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. And we'll see you for the AC Milan preview. It should be a good one. But until then, thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys in a bit.